Hey warriors, you're about to lose something today. Something that's been choking you your entire life. That desperate, suffocating need to be liked. That reflex to smile when you want to scream. That urge to explain yourself to people who don't deserve your words. The moment you stop needing their approval is the moment you become untouchable, dangerous, free. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this 500 years ago, while everyone else was writing fairy tales about virtue and honor. He was cutting through the noise. He watched princes fall because they were too kind. He saw empires crumble because leaders cared too much about being loved. And he wrote it all down in brutal, raw honesty. This isn't about being cruel. It's about being smart. The world doesn't reward the nice guy. It rewards the calculated one. The one who moves in silence, the one who keeps his cards so close that others can't even tell he's in the game. Think about your life right now. How many times have you swallowed your words because you didn't want conflict? How many times have you smiled through disrespect? How many times have you over-explained yourself to people who were already judging you? Every single time you did that, you handed away a piece of your power. Machiavelli saw through the game. He knew that being liked is a trap. It makes you predictable. It makes you weak. It makes you controllable. And the worst part, people don't even respect the ones they can easily like. They respect the ones they can't quite figure out. The ones who don't bend. The ones who don't break. Today, you're going to learn 8 lessons that will completely change how you operate. These aren't soft tips. These are street-level strategies for real life. They're designed to make you harder to manipulate, impossible to read, and unforgettable when you walk into a room. You'll learn why silence is more terrifying than any comeback, why delay creates fear, why hiding your pain makes you invincible, why withholding warmth protects your value, why mystery is your greatest weapon, why your absence teaches better than your presence, why saying less makes you more powerful, and why being unreadable makes you untouchable. By the end of this video, you won't be the same person. You'll see interactions differently, you'll move differently, you'll speak differently, and people will feel it. They won't know what changed, but they'll sense something shifted. So, lock in, turn off distractions. What you're about to learn doesn't just change how others see you. It rewires how you see yourself. Before we dive in, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose power over approval. Let's go. Number 1. Kill your reflex to explain. Let's start with the most damaging habit you have. The one that's been bleeding your power since childhood. Your need to explain yourself. Someone questions you. Your first instinct, adopter or EFAD, STRI, over-explain. You think you're clarifying. What you're actually doing is showing them exactly where you're vulnerable. Every explanation is a crack in your armor. It tells them you care what they think. It shows them you're affected. And once they know they can affect you, they own you. Machiavelli once said, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." But here's what he really meant. A smart person surrounds himself with silence when fools demand answers. Stop feeding people explanations. When someone accuses you of something, say nothing. When they question your decision, let it hang in the air. When they push for reasons, give them a look that says, "I don't owe you that." Here's what happens when you stop explaining. They get uncomfortable. That discomfort, that's their problem, not yours. They'll try harder. They'll dig deeper. They'll reveal their real intentions. And you'll watch it all happen while staying perfectly still. Think about the people you actually respect. Do they explain themselves constantly? No. They make decisions and move on. They speak once and that's it. You never see them scrambling to justify their choices to random people. Now think about the ones you don't respect. They're always talking, always defending, always trying to convince you they made the right call. You can smell the desperation. Your silence makes you unpredictable. When people can't get a reaction, can't get an explanation, they start second, guessing themselves. Maybe they misread you. Maybe they push too far. Maybe you're 3 steps ahead, and they just can't see it. I've watched this play out 1,000 times. Someone throws shade. The weak person writes a paragraph response. The strong person, they don't even look up. Here's your new operating system. When challenged, pause. Let the silence stretch until it gets awkward. Then either change the subject or walk away. That's it. No defense, no explanation, no giving them the satisfaction. You think you're being rude, you're not. You're being smart. You're protecting your energy. You're teaching people that your decisions don't require their approval. The ones who truly matter will understand. The ones who don't, they were never on your side anyway. Start small. Next time someone questions why you did something, catch yourself before you explain. Just say, I had my reasons, and leave it there. Watch what happens. Watch them squirm. Watch them realize they can't control you with guilt or pressure. This is lesson 1, because it's the foundation of everything else. If you can't kill your reflex to explain, you'll never master the other 7. Your words will always give you away. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I owe no explanations. Number 2, respond slower than they expect. Speed is weakness. Let that sink in. When you respond immediately, you're telling them they have your full attention. They set the pace. They control the tempo. You're dancing to their rhythm. Machiavelli once said, men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate necessities that a deceiver will never lack victims for his deceptions. People are impatient. Use that against them. Delay is power. It creates space. It creates doubt. It creates fear. Someone texts you demanding an answer. Let it sit, not for days, but long enough that they start wondering, did you see it? Are you ignoring them? Are you too busy to care? All these thoughts eat at them while you're doing absolutely nothing. Here's the secret. The person who cares less controls the situation. When you rush to respond, you're showing how much you care. When you take your time, you're showing them they're not a priority. This works everywhere. In meetings, don't be the first to speak. Let others fill the silence with their nervous chatter. Then, when you finally talk, everyone listens because you made them wait for it. In arguments, don't match their energy. They go fast, you go slow. They raise their voice, you lower yours. They want instant replies. You give them measured pauses. This alone will drive them insane. I know what you're thinking. But what if they think I'm rude? Good. Let them think whatever helps them sleep. You're not here to make everyone comfortable. You're here to be effective. The delay also gives you time to think. How many times have you responded too fast and regretted it? How many times did you say something in the heat of the moment that you wish you could take back? Speed robs you of strategy. When you slow down, you see the game differently. You notice what they're really asking for. You catch the manipulation behind their words. You spot the trap they're setting. Quick responses make you predictable. Slow responses make you mysterious. People start wondering what you're thinking, what you're planning, why you're so calm when they're so agitated. Here's a test. Next time someone sends you a message that would normally get an instant reply, wait. Just wait. Even if it's just 30 minutes. Watch how the dynamic shifts. Suddenly, you're the one in control. This doesn't mean play games with people who deserve your respect. Your real friends, your family, the people who have earned your time, treat them differently. But for everyone else, for the ones testing you, pushing you, trying to manipulate you, Make them wait. Time is territory. When you control the timing, you control the outcome. Start practicing this today. Delay one response, just one. See how it feels to not be at someone's beck and call. See how it feels to own your own time. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My time, my pace. Number 3, never show what hurt you. Pain is information, and information is power. When you show someone what hurt you, you just handed them a loaded weapon with instructions on exactly where to aim. This is harsh but true. Most people don't care about your pain. They care about their advantage and your vulnerability. That's their advantage. Machiavelli once said, "Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception." People will use your emotions as deception. They'll poke at your wounds just to watch you flinch. Not because they hate you, because it makes them feel powerful. I'm not saying don't feel pain. Feel everything. Rage, hurt, disappointment. Feel it all. Just don't broadcast it. Don't give people a map to your weak spots. When someone says something that cuts deep, your face should show nothing. Not anger, not hurt, nothing. Let them wonder if it landed. Let them wonder if you even registered it. That uncertainty will haunt them more than any comeback you could throw. Here's what weak people do. They show their hurt immediately. They cry. They lash out. They defend themselves emotionally, and everyone watching takes notes. Oh, mention his ex, and he falls apart. Bring up her weight, and she gets defensive. These become buttons people can push whenever they want a reaction. Strong people. They absorb the hit like it's nothing. Someone insults them publicly, they smile. Someone betrays them, they act unbothered. Someone tries to embarrass them, they laugh it off. All while internally taking notes on who just revealed themselves as an enemy. This isn't about bottling emotions until you explode. It's about choosing when and where and with whom you show vulnerability. Your pain is private property, guard it. Think about poker players. The good ones never let you see what cards they're holding. Same principle applies to life. Your emotional reactions are your cards. The moment you show them, people start calculating their next move based on what they saw. I've seen people lose jobs, relationships, opportunities, all because they couldn't hide their hurt. The boss who knows you're sensitive about your work will use that to manipulate you. The friend who knows you're insecure about your past will weaponize it the moment you disagree. The partner who sees your jealousy will exploit it for control. Your pain is yours. Nobody else deserves access to it unless they've proven they'll protect that information like it's their own. Here's your new rule. When something hurts, your face stays neutral. Your voice stays steady. Your body language stays relaxed. Later alone, you can process it however you need to, but in the moment, stone cold. This makes you dangerous because people can't read you. They throw their best shot and get nothing back. No reaction, no satisfaction, just a blank wall that gives them nothing to work with. Master this and you become untouchable, not because nothing hurts you, but because nobody knows what does. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Pain is private. Number 4, withhold warmth when tested. Your warmth is valuable. Stop giving it away to people who don't deserve it. Here's what most people do wrong. Someone disrespects them and they still smile. Someone tests their boundaries and they still act friendly. Someone treats them like garbage and they still try to keep the peace. That's not kindness, that's weakness, and people can smell it. Machiavelli once said, "Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared than loved." He wasn't saying be cruel. He was saying don't be easy when someone tests you, and they will test you. Your warmth should vanish immediately like a switch got flipped. They cross a line, you become cold, not angry, not reactive, just ice. This teaches them something crucial. Your kindness isn't weakness. Your friendliness comes with conditions. Respect me or lose access to the warm version of me. Simple. I see this all the time with people who wonder why they get walked all over. They keep being nice to people who treat them badly, They keep smiling at people who mock them. They keep offering warmth to people who only show up when they need something. Stop that. Your warmth is a privilege. It should be earned and it can be revoked. Someone takes you for granted, pull back. Someone disrespects you, go cold. Someone tests your boundaries, show them the version of you they don't want to meet. This doesn't mean be petty or vindictive. It means be strategic. When someone shows you who they are, your energy should match that reality. They treat you like an option. You treat them like a stranger. Here's what happens when you master this. People start watching their words around you. They realize you're not someone who tolerates disrespect just to keep things comfortable. They learn that access to the good version of you requires them to act right. The ones who truly care will adjust. They'll apologize. They'll fix their behavior. The ones who don't, they'll disappear. And good riddance. Think about the people you respect most. Notice how they're warm with those who have earned it, but cold as winter with those who haven't. That's not by accident. That's by design. You need to stop being warm by default. Warm should be something people work for, something they maintain by treating you well, something they lose the moment they step out of line. I'm not saying hold grudges forever. I'm saying make it clear that your energy isn't free. If someone wants back in, they need to show real change, not just apologize with words. Start implementing this today. The next person who tests you, don't smile through it. Don't laugh it off. Don't keep being warm. Pull back. Watch how fast they notice. Watch how fast they adjust. Your warmth is currency. Stop giving it to people who wouldn't do the same for you. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. Warmth is earned. Number 5. Guard mystery like territory. You talk too much. Most people do. They spill their thoughts, their plans, their feelings like it's nothing. Then they wonder why nobody takes them seriously. Mystery is power. The less people know about you, the more they respect you. The more they know, the more they take you for granted. Machiavelli once said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. This is it. This is the game. Control what people see. Keep who you really are locked away. When you share everything, you become ordinary, predictable, boring. People figure you out and move on. But when you hold back, when you reveal little and hint at less, you become interesting. They want to know more. They want to understand you, and that's leverage. I'm not saying be secretive about everything. I'm saying be selective. Your thoughts, your plans, your past, your struggles. These are treasures, not small talk. Don't hand them out to anyone who asks. Think about the most magnetic people you know. Notice how you always feel like there's more to them. How even after years, you're still discovering new layers. That's not by accident. They guard their mystery intentionally. Now think about the people nobody remembers. What do they have in common? They told you everything in the first conversation. No mystery, no depth. Just information dumped on you like you asked for it. Here's what you do instead. When someone asks about your personal life, give them the surface. When they ask about your plans, stay vague. When they push for details, redirect the conversation back to them. Most people love talking about themselves anyway. This makes you unforgettable. People walk away from conversations with you thinking there's something about them I can't quite figure out. That uncertainty lives in their head rent-free. They think about you more than they should. They wonder what you're hiding. They want access to the parts you keep locked. But here's the real reason you guard mystery. It protects you. The less people know, the less they can use against you. The less ammunition they have when things go wrong. The less they can gossip about when you're not around. Every detail you share is a potential weapon in someone else's hands. Your insecurities, your fears, your past mistakes. Keep those locked. Only share them with people who have proven they'll protect that information like it's their own. I've watched people ruin their reputation by oversharing, by telling everyone their business, by being an open book when they should have been a locked safe. Don't be them. Your life is not a public resource. Your thoughts are not free content. Your story is not entertainment for people who haven't earned the right to hear it. Start practicing restraint today. When someone asks you something personal, pause. Ask yourself, do they need to know this? Have they earned this information? If the answer is no, keep it vague and move on. Mystery isn't lying. It's strategy. It's keeping your cards close and only showing them when it benefits you. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I keep secrets. Number 6. Let your absence teach them. Your presence is everywhere. You're always available, always responsive, always there when people need you. And that's exactly why they don't value you. You want to know what creates respect, distance, space, absence. The moment you remove yourself from someone's daily life, they suddenly realize what they had. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." But here's the twist. Absence creates both. They fear losing you, and they love having you back. When you're always around, you become furniture. Background noise expected. But when you disappear, even temporarily, you become a question mark. Where did they go? Why aren't they answering? Did I do something wrong? This works in every area of life. The friend who takes you for granted. Stop being available. The partner who doesn't appreciate you. Create space. The coworker who only values you when they need something. Make yourself scarce. I'm not talking about ghosting people or playing immature games. I'm talking about strategic withdrawal. When someone shows they don't value your presence, teach them through your absence. Here's what happens. At first, they don't notice. They're used to you being there. But after a few days, they start wondering. After a week, they start reaching out. After 2 weeks, they're questioning what changed. And suddenly, you're all they can think about. Your absence creates a vacuum, and humans hate vacuums. We fill them with thoughts, with worry, with realization. All the things they ignored while you were present suddenly become clear when you're gone. The people who matter will reach out properly. They'll ask if everything's okay. They'll acknowledge they haven't been present. They'll show effort. The people who don't matter, they'll disappear completely. And that's information you needed anyway. This isn't about manipulation. This is about self-respect. If your presence doesn't add value to someone's life while you're there, your absence will teach them what they missed. Think about the things you want most are the things you can't have. The moment something becomes scarce, it becomes valuable. You're no different. When you're always available, you're common. When you pull back, you're rare. I've seen relationships transform because one person finally stepped back. I've seen friendships improve because someone stopped being the one who always reached out first. I've seen careers change because someone stopped being available 24/7. Your time is limited. Your energy is limited. Your presence is limited. Stop acting like it's infinite. Stop giving it to people who wouldn't notice if you disappeared tomorrow. Here's your test. Pull back from one person who takes you for granted. Don't announce it. Don't make it dramatic. Just stop being as available. Watch what happens. Watch if they notice. Watch if they care. If they reach out with genuine concern, you know they value you. If they don't, you just learned something valuable about where you stand. Your absence is a teacher. Let it do its job. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. Space reveals truth. Number 7, say less, imply more. Words are overrated. Most people use 10 sentences when one would do. They explain when they should suggest. They spell out when they should hint. And in doing so, they kill all the power their message could have. The real skill isn't in saying more, it's in saying less and making it count. Machiavelli once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." But wisdom isn't in explaining everything. It's in letting others figure it out. When you say everything, you remove mystery. You remove interpretation. You remove the space where minds work overtime trying to understand you. You become simple, clear, forgettable. But when you imply, when you suggest, when you let your words carry weight without spelling out every detail, that's when you become powerful. Think about the most memorable lines from movies, books, speeches. They're never long explanations. They're short, loaded statements that mean different things to different people. That's the magic, the interpretation, the space between the words. In real life, this looks like someone asks if you're upset. Instead of explaining all your feelings, you say, "I'm processing." That's it. They'll spend the next hour wondering what that means. What are you processing? How upset are you? Should they be worried? Someone wants to know your plans. Instead of laying out every detail, you say, "Things are in motion." Now they're curious. What things, what motion, how big? You just made yourself interesting without revealing anything. Someone tries to push your buttons. Instead of engaging, you say, "Interesting perspective," and walk away. They'll wonder if you agreed. If you're being sarcastic, if you're about to do something they should worry about, all from 2 words. This works because the human brain hates gaps. When you leave something unsaid, people fill in those blanks, and what they imagine is almost always more interesting than what you would have said. I'm not saying be vague about everything. Clear communication has its place. But in situations where power matters, where respect matters, where being underestimated is actually useful, say less, imply more. Watch how powerful people talk. They don't ramble, they don't over-explain. They make statements and let them hang in the air. They ask questions and don't fill the silence. They hint at knowledge without revealing it all. Compare that to people with no power. They're always talking, always explaining, always trying to convince you they know something. The desperation is obvious. Your words should be like icebergs, most of the meaning hidden below the surface. People see the tip and wonder what's underneath. That wondering, that's you living in their head without even being in the room. Start cutting your words in half. Literally, if you are going to say 3 sentences, say 1. If you were going to explain something fully, explain halfway and let them figure out the rest. This makes every word count. When you speak rarely and briefly, people actually listen. They lean in. They don't want to miss anything because they know you're not going to repeat yourself. Say less, mean more. Watch what happens. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Words are weapons. Number 8. Be feared by being unreadable. Predictability is death. The moment people can read you, they can control you. They know what triggers you. They know what moves you. They know how to play you. And once they know, you're done. The most dangerous people in any room are the ones you can't read. The ones whose next move is a mystery. The ones whose emotions are locked behind a wall you can't see through. Machiavelli once said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves." You need to be both. Unpredictable, unreadable, dangerous. When people can't figure you out, they fear you. Not because you're threatening them, because uncertainty is scarier than any direct threat. They don't know what you're thinking, don't know what you'll do next, don't know where your boundaries are until they've already crossed them. This is the final lesson because it combines everything. Don't explain yourself, stay mysterious, respond slow, stay unpredictable, hide your pain, stay unreadable, withhold warmth, stay calculated, guard mystery, stay unknown, use absence, stay distant. Say less, stay powerful. All of it builds to this. Become someone people can't quite figure out. Here's how this looks in practice. One day you're friendly, the next day you're cold, not moody. Strategic. One conversation you share a little, the next you share nothing. One moment you're engaged, the next you're completely detached. This isn't fake. This is understanding that consistency in reaction is weakness. When people know you'll always be nice, they take advantage. When people know you'll always fight back, they prepare. When people can't predict what you'll do, they think twice before testing you. I've watched this principle protect people from manipulation, betrayal, and disrespect. The unreadable person doesn't get played because players can't read the game. Your emotions should be a black box. Happy, maybe angry, who knows? Hurt, impossible to tell. Planning something, probably. But what this makes people careful around you. They choose their words. They watch their actions. They think before they push because they have no idea where the line is until it's too late. But here's the real power. Being unreadable means you're always underestimated. People assume things about you that aren't true. They think you're weak when you're strong. They think you don't care when you care deeply. They think you're not paying attention when you've already seen everything, and when they finally realize they were wrong, it's too late. You've already moved, already adapted, already won. Start today. Stop being so easy to read. Mix up your responses. Change your patterns, keep people guessing. Be warm one day and distant the next. Share something personal, then go silent for a week. Become a puzzle nobody can solve, a force nobody can predict. A presence that makes people think twice. That's how you become untouchable. Not by being the strongest or the smartest, but by being impossible to read. I want you to drop this affirmation in comments. I am unreadable. You just learned 8 lessons that most people will never understand. Society wants you predictable, explainable, easy to manage. It wants you to seek approval, respond quickly, show your emotions, stay warm to everyone. Share everything, always be present, talk constantly, and be an open book. Why? Because that version of you is controllable, easy to manipulate, simple to predict, safe to ignore. Machiavelli understood something 500 years ago that's still true today. Power doesn't come from being liked. It comes from being respected. And respect comes from being dangerous in the right ways, not dangerous like you'll hurt people. Dangerous like you can't be played, can't be manipulated, can't be predicted, can't be controlled. These 8 lessons aren't about becoming cold or cruel. They're about becoming strategic, about protecting your energy, your time, your power from people who would drain all 3 if you let them. You now know how to kill your reflex to explain, how to use delay as a weapon, how to hide pain as strength, how to weaponize warmth, how to guard mystery, how to teach through absence, how to say less and mean more, how to become unreadable and therefore untouchable. The question is, will you actually use this? Because knowing isn't enough. You have to practice. You have to catch yourself before you over-explain. You have to force yourself to respond slower. You have to train your face to stay neutral when something hurts. You have to pull back your warmth when someone takes advantage. You have to keep your mouth shut when you want to share. You have to create distance when you're too available. You have to cut your words in half. You have to become unpredictable on purpose. This is work, real work. But the payoff, you become someone people respect instead of someone they use. Before you go, drop your favorite affirmation in the comments. Hit that like button if this changed how you see power. And subscribe because there's more where this came from. Now go become dangerous.